Shout out to the CIA. What's going on? It's early Monday morning. You see the title of the live stream, and it simply asks the question: Who do you owe? Who do you owe? I asked a question because I find a lot of people today. I was one of these folks that felt like I owed. You know, I couldn't live my life because I had to worry about everybody else. You know, being an only child, I grew up without a father in the household. So, if you know anything about only children, especially male children, we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So I felt like I owed, my mom for being my mother. Um, I felt like I put a lot of stress, undue stress on myself, to the point to where, you know, stress is a leading cause of is a big cause in cancer. I think I physically made myself sick at a young age because I was always trying to live for other folks. Now, understand something. I'm not saying who do you feel responsible to, but I'm saying who do you owe. That is a big difference. Feeling like you owe somebody really. I don't know why people always do that. They think somebody wants to be on the same. Look, man, you're single with no kids. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself. And here's the thing, even if you're married with children, as a man, you still owe yourself too. You know, and when you guys start to realize that it's not being selfish, um, self-centered, or anything like that, to put yourself first, to make yourself a priority, then you start to get some pleasure out of life. You start to enjoy life. When you realize that you have right to enjoy life just like everybody else, we've got to a point to where, especially in today's world, where everyone else can enjoy their lives. You don't hear women worrying about who the fuck. They just don't care. And this is one thing that you guys can actually learn from a lot of women today. You need to put yourself first. Even as a married man, even as a father, even if you have children, you got to put yourself first. Because, like it or not, mama could die. Mother could die. Father can find another wife. Father's gone, we see the effects of that stuff, and we're not supposed to talk about this stuff. You know what kind of inspired this? I had a young 19-year-old college student get on one of my comment section, and I was talking about class, dating in class, social class in the black community. Me and Ron Wills and BGS had this show, and I had this 19-year-old girl get on my stream and said he had me up until the point where he said, I'm not the prize, meaning i.e. women. And I responded, I'm like, you're not. And then I pulled it back and I said, what does your husband have to say about it? Because this is how your godfather thinks. I ain't gonna argue with you. What does your husband have to say? Oh, I'm 19, I'm in college, I'm not married. Okay, great. I'm 19, I'm in college at Columbia. Oh, great. What does your father have to say? What does your daddy have to say about it? Because I know he's paying for your college. First words out of her mouth was LMAO. Then she goes into this story about how father walked out on the mother and a bunch of shit I really don't care about. Because I'm going to tell you why. We're to the point now in this world to where it's it can be considered offensive for a man to do what Beast Mode did and ask, is there a man here with you? Are you married? I want you guys to stop arguing with women. Don't even, do not do it because it's pointless. That girl's in school in Columbia and trying to argue with a man who could be her father's age, but she's too young to know. And her mother did a horrible job raising her. Yeah, I said it. Your mother did a horrible job raising you. If you have the nerve to come talk to a man who's your elder, like we're on the same level. We're not, little girl. But you got daddy issues. Like most people, you have daddy issues. But unfortunately, you only got a short time frame to get your shit together before you hit the wall at 30 and you start looking around and realizing that, damn, if I had checked my shit at the door and realized I wasn't the prize, maybe I could get myself together and end up getting married before I'm 25 years old and have some kids and actually have a shot at having a happy life. Because Coach Red Pill dropped the video today. I'm gonna tell you, I think it's required reading. I'm gonna have my video list of videos that I think are gonna be required reading, and one of them is the truth about older women. I suggest you all check it out, including women. Unfortunately, Generation X women, Generation was X you were lied to. You were told you could have it all and you can't. And unfortunately, we have a lot of older women, and let me define what older means. Older, 35 and above. You're an older woman at 35. That's the bright red dividing line. And for men, I would say it starts at 40, but really it's 35. See, for men, you got to start having a difference in your mindset. Start thinking about yourself, putting yourself first. Even if you are a family man, you do nobody any benefit being a little cuck, a pussy, where you're sitting down and, oh, my wife is my queen and I put her first and then my kids and then I do what's left. You're living counter to nature. And even if you're religious, you're living counter to God's plan. No matter how you slice it, no man puts his woman first. Show me the justification. Even if you're a religious man, show me the religious justification for putting anybody above yourself. And see, this should not be controversial, but it's rubbing some guys the wrong way. I can't think of myself like that. Well, then let me ask you, what does your father have to say? Oh, he didn't have one. See, unfortunately, a lot of you guys are going to have to do like I did. You're going to have to just go ahead and say, what kind of guy would I be if I had a strong father who understood the way the world is? Who would you be today? See, we wouldn't have these terms, toxic masculinity and misogyny and these different pills. We'd just be men. So my goal is to get men to start looking at themselves like they're the prize, and treating themselves like they matter. See, I grew up in a time to where a woman was at 8, 9, or 10, and they still had to flirt with guys, and they had to put some effort into it. They didn't walk around here with their ass on their shoulders thinking they were better than everybody. See, you can't get mad that women are doing what they're doing today if you don't put yourself first. They're just doing what comes naturally to them. I don't get mad at them, but I don't deal with women like that in my life. I don't. In my day-to-day life, the women I choose to deal with, they understand where they belong and where I belong. Or we just don't deal. Do you put yourself first, guys? Do you put yourself first? And then I want you to show me how. Show me how you put yourself first. Show me how you put yourself first, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at how much you weigh. How much you weigh as a man. I'm gonna look. First thing is you tell me you put yourself first. I mean, I'm gonna look at how you look. Your weight, your appearance, and your grooming. Because we as men, what we value, what we really dig, we take care of. And if you don't taking care of you, you can't really think much of you. And when you don't think much of you, you tell the world, oh, it's all right to treat me in any old kind of way. But when you set a standard for yourself to say, you know what, I'm the man, whether or not all my dreams are realized or not. You don't have to wait until you become who you are to be a superhero to yourself. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? If you're putting in the work, then you should get some effort and some reward out of it. Somebody says, I put myself first, I don't give women money. That's not the same thing. Let me address that. Eric Slamson says, I put myself first, I don't give women money. Just by the way that thing is written, there's scarcity in there, man. I ain't saying shit about giving women money, anything else like that. I give women money. I take care of the women I deal with. I certainly do. I get read about them as they do. I eat well, they eat well. What are you talking about? Don't give women money. Then you don't have any women worth a damn. I mean, I can tell you don't give women money, you got shitty women. See, what's happening in these spaces, a lot of guys got shit confused. You know, guys are overdosing on all this rhetoric that's going on around here. And you think that you become you think by sitting around with all this hard ass language, I don't give women money. Well, then you ain't got a woman worth a damn. And I'm gonna tell you, a big part of it is a lot of people. You got a lot of folks that if you actually saw how they were really living versus what they say online, big ass disconnect. Women aren't your problem, man. The women I deal with, I treat them well. Very well. I treat myself well, and I treat them well too. Why would I want to have a woman that's doing everything she's supposed to do to be FBI, feminine, beautiful, inspirational for me, and then I'm just gonna be mean to her? Man, y'all need to go get some goddamn therapy and get over whoever fucked you, whoever bothered you, whoever hurt you, like whoever. I don't want to say whoever hurt you, but you got this in your mind that women are your enemy. No, that bitch that did whatever she did, you know. I think somebody said it earlier that a lot of dudes have a problem because when you were young, women were mean. Yeah, they were mean. They were mean. They've gotten meaner, but women have always, young beautiful women have always been kind of mean. But the difference is we had men around to be like, man, forget that shit, man. Keep on doing what you got to do. That's it. What are you doing? Walk around with a perpetual chip on your shoulder? Fuck these women, I ain't giving them nothing. I'm gonna keep all my money. All right. Knock yourself out, man. More beautiful young women for me to deal with. William said something that's honest. Being honest, I can't differentiate between calling women and hoes. They all look the same to me. I don't trust them. Then the problem is in the mirror, man. You can't differentiate between a quality woman and a hoe. So you treat all women the same. So let's flip that up. How you feel when people treat you the same? That's your shortcoming, man. You know what it's gonna require? Therapy, help. You ain't gonna get it by watching YouTube videos. You're gonna get it by getting in your wallet, spending hundreds, thousands of dollars, and putting in some work. Because let me tell you this: if you go through the world, if you think you're gonna go through life treating all women the same, that's 51% of the population. You got a problem on your hand. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've come up with a different way of living without half the population. I don't deal with that shit. Appreciate it, Marie. And see, here's what here's what some of you guys who listen to what I'm saying, who you're still immature in your development. The word simp, blue pill, all this other kind of shit comes out of your mouth when you know good and goddamn well ain't shit simping about me, ain't shit blue pill about me. I've showed you. The difference is I get the best out of women. Let's just be real. I get better out of women than I used to. Put it on me. I get better out of women than I used to because I put myself first. Now, when I was doing that blue pill beta male simp thing, oh yeah, leading with my wallet, trying to, buy women and impress women and, da 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 da, trying to live up to something, trying to be anything but a solid man. That's why everybody liked Patrice O'Neal, because what Patrice O'Neal talked about was just being a man. But see, here's the thing. Let's move women to the side. Let's move women to the side, but I still want to talk about the same group of guys. We can move women to the side and say you can't trust them. You can't trust between a good woman and a hoe. I mean, that's a pretty massive ass statement. But let me take it. And Eric, this ain't about you. Let's take that. You're a man out here, and you can't differentiate between a woman and a hoe, so you don't trust them all. But see, those guys like that, and I don't know you, Eric, so again, move that out the side. Guys like that don't work well with other men either. Tend not to work well with other guys. Damn sure not with high value men. This is why I've been talking about what kind of friend are you? Do you have a scarcity mentality? Do you live a fear? Do you make decisions out of fear? Are you generous? See, it is the guys what I'm talking about. I'm gonna do a video on what it means to be high value. Let me go ahead and talk about this right now. How do I overcome fancy restaurant anxiety with a girlfriend? You book a one-on-one session with me and I talk you through it so you know what to expect. Then you practice a little bit at home. But even better when you get to the point to where you understand how to do it, you teaching her something at the spot. Okay, I saw another. Hey man, I understood what the guy was saying. You made a video that hurt me, but it was true. Hey man, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, man. But you know what I think hurts more, Marcus, is not being real with bros. But see, the thing is, I've done a lot of this work myself. I've had somebody sit across from me and call me on my bullshit. And I'm a better man for it. Because when you put yourself first, you can choose, Marcus. You can choose to date one woman, have a roster. You can choose where you work. You can choose where you live. You have options. I want your choices to be yours. That's really what I want for any guy. Kev, have you ever had trust issues with women? Oh, most definitely. And if so, do you still have them now? No. If not, how'd you get over that? Therapy. Serious therapy. Psychological counseling. Dealing with my acceptance issues, my abandonment issues from childhood. Reconciling with my father without waiting for him to come find me. Holding my father accountable and then giving him the benefit of the doubt and forgiving him. Holding my mother accountable, judging her like I would judge any other single woman out here, forgiving her, then asking myself what it is that I want. Questioning everything in my life, from my religion to my political affiliation to where I live. And then, now my life is mine. I'm just asking because it's extremely hard for me to trust women these days. I get it, but so you're gonna have to get some therapy. That's it. Get a male, get a red pill male therapist. Don't get a female therapist. Get a get a male therapist that does not believe in feminism and this gynocracy stuff. And let's go get to work. Therapy, because when I say clinical therapy, because there may be a psychological issue there that requires medication. And even like me as a life coach, one of the first questions I ask a client is, have you had counseling, therapy, an evaluation? Because I want to know what they're doing. Because life coaching is more uh, after the triage of dealing with your issues, then we still got to live life. But yeah, man, I love women, man. I know what women are. I let them be who they are. You know what makes my life easier with women? I'm not a 50-50 dude. If I have a woman in my life, it's my program. But she wants to be here because my life is pretty cool. You know, all I ask her to do is be feminine, beautiful, inspirational, cooperative. Really, that's it. I mean, that's it. So look, Sugar P is in here. I mean, if Sugar P was here in the DMV, I mean, I would find somebody like her and be like, hey, girl, this is what's up. Here's the program. Your job is to stay as fine as you are. When I go out, look good on my arm, and work the goddamn room. I'm going in here to make contacts, get clients, and your job is to be the carpet I ride in on. Meaning, women can work a room unlike a man can. That's why the first lady has a unique spot with the president. And she would end up, but in order for her to do that, I'd put her in that room, and she'd have on Chanel. This is how I roll, because I'm just like this. With maybe she likes Chanel, maybe she likes Saint Laurent, maybe whatever it is she like. All right, cool. You like that? All right, because I want her to look as good as I need her to look. You know, let's just go with shoes. You're gonna have some good shoes on, but she's gonna look good because she represents me, and she's gonna know she represents me. And that's a prize spot to hold. And she's gonna be proud to do it. I'm gonna give her a goddamn reason to want to be on the roster. And I'm gonna make it to such a good spot to where she's gonna want to compete to be the one and only. Look, man, have you ever asked yourself how many of these guys in these spaces who are these coaches and, I'm not a dating coach. Have you ever looked at some of these PUAs and all these guys in these spaces? Do you think that the women that they deal with don't know they're online? Yet these women are still down anyway. I heard C Boogie talking about earlier today how he used to date this girl who was a dancer, a stripper, and they used to laugh at the thirsty ass dudes in the inbox. Man, I done lived that life so much, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, you get nowhere leading with your wallet, man. You have to be a man. Now, I am going to make a video that is going to piss people off. But we gotta have a talk. To be CIA is what I hope men strive for. Confident, intelligent, and assertive. I think that's 80%, where the bulk of men, 8 out of 10 men, if they get to CIA, they will live happy lives. But there is a segment of life, the top 20% or smaller, that is high value men. By definition, it is rare. By definition, it is not something that you can't just say that you are. It's like select status. Women convert select, the opposite sex confers select status. The opposite sex confers high value. And here's the thing, high value, you cannot buy your way in. You could be a multimillionaire and not be a high value man. You could be a straight up fucking cuck. And if anybody knows anything about the true Dom lifestyle, there are a lot of men who are extremely wealthy who are some cucks. To be a high value man, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but see, just because you are quote unquote red pill does not make you high value. High value is something that's universal The high value man is universal to women. It's not a race. So by definition, we're talking about something that's exceedingly rare. 2 out of 10, maybe even less. See, we got to get past this point of thinking. Now, it doesn't mean alpha, because alpha is even more rare than high value. Alpha, by definition, is usually one. But see, and it's damn near impossible to be a high value man in your 20s. Why? Because you don't have the experience. There's a lot that goes into being a high value man. There's an income portion. There's an attractiveness portion to women across the board. There's a sexuality piece of it. There's a, let me tell you what a high value man ultimately has. Gravitas. Gravitas, not charisma, not swag. He has gravitas. Gravity. He means he draws life to him. And a high value man is something you have to go through steps to attain it. So I know it's gonna piss people off, because there are guys who talk about being high value men just because they're red pill, and that's not true. I know guys who are red pill, who make $30,000 a year driving a bus. Al Bundy, the character Al Bundy on Married with Children, he was about as red pilled as you could get. He sold shoes. But that's the thing. I like to define things. I like to define things so I know where I rank and know what I'm shooting for. Like, I don't use the terms alpha and beta unless I'm being extreme. But a high value man like Idris Elba, they'll just use him just because we all know, Idris Elba, you don't see, Idris Elba is universally attractive to women. Just like when you have, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's universally attracted to women too. A high value, let's say a high value white guy. A high value white guy is one of those guys where even sisters will be like, I never date her. Like, oh yeah. See, a high value man is high value to men and women. And like I said, one of the things is he has gravitas. See, when we start making distinctions, this is where the problems come in. And it only should be an issue is if you want to be a high value. Look, man, not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur or an executive manager or own their own business. And there's nothing wrong with that. When I was in high school and college, I didn't want to own my own business. I didn't want the responsibility. I wanted to be a highly paid, get paid as much money as possible. But then I realized that I'm a leader and I break stuff. I break stuff because my goal is to make things the best possible. So if I go into a business, the worst thing you can tell somebody like myself is I ask you, why are we doing it this way? Because we've always done it. And I'm gonna look at the outcome, and if the outcome is not what we want, I'm gonna say, well, we need to change the process. And there are people who just want it to be that way. The best thing I can learn for myself is to put myself first and realize I don't work well inside of people's companies. I need my own thing. See, tell me you put yourself first, and I'm gonna ask you, why are you living in the city or state you're living in? Are you living there because you have to? Are you living there because you want to? Like I said, how much of the life you're living is of your own design? Think about what I just said. How much of the life you're living is of your own design? Meaning, you're living in a city or state that you would choose to live in if you could just plop down. How much of the stuff that you're doing because you have to. And there's a point. We all go through this point where we have to do what we got to do. So how do you put yourself first while doing what you have to do. There's always going to be a portion of life where you have to do what you have to do in order to be able to do what you want to do. But when you can do what you want to do, are you doing it? You're in a relationship. You went out this weekend. Did you go where you wanted to go, or did you go where she wanted to go? Did you? Are you in a situation, honestly, to where you know good and doggone well you should walk away from it, but you just got too much time invested and you just content? Ooh. Uh, I said this the other day. Show me the, show me the, show me the hottest woman you've ever walked away from, and I'll show you your relative value. Show me the hottest woman you've walked away from on some Robert De Niro from Heat. Robert De Niro was talking to Al Pacino's character and said, being in this life, there's an oath, there's a code. You can't get attached to anything that you can't walk away from in 15 seconds when you feel the heat coming down. Most men who watch these videos have never walked away from a relationship. Women are always breaking up with you. Let me tell you something. If women are breaking up with you, you don't have any balls. Women don't typically want for a woman to end up breaking up with you is you didn't see the signs and you forced her to make a decision. That was something I had to see. There were women that I dealt with that I had my feelings were involved. I had something I invested. I went into it the wrong way. And we should have broken up. She did bullshit that should have had her fired long ago. But instead of putting myself first for my beta male cuck blue pill reasons, I stayed in it. And it got worse and worse, and the shit test and the disrespect and all sort of kind of stuff. So eventually she just had to break up with me. And then I asked up trying to go back and get back with her. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I actually had a friend come by and say, what the fuck are you doing, man? You serious? Are you serious? I mean, why are you doing this for that chick? She's playing you and you playing yourself, man. See, you need a friend in your life that can slap the shit out of you. Real talk. Let me tell you one of the secrets I have. One of the things I hope you guys get in your life. You need 2 to 3 people in your life that you respect enough to substitute their judgment for yours. Especially when you're dealing with relationships. I have a gauntlet around me. I have friends around me that can pull me on my shit at any one given time. They can tell me, nah, man, that's some bullshit. You on some bullshit, cuz. I got friends around me that I trust like that. I stopped lying to women too. You know, I stopped lying and meaning one of the biggest lies that can tend to happen at this level is dudes trying to lead with their wallet. What the fuck you need to know how much money I make for? I mean, that's none of your business. I started living my life, doing what I like to do, and then I started meeting women in those places. And instead of trying to impress them, I let them impress me. I walk away. That is the biggest power a man has. Even when I date now, I don't have a date that lasts over 3 hours. The average date I have lasts about an hour. If I spend 3 hours with you, that's pushing it. There have been times, where there'll be a sleepover here or there. But even one of the laws of the 48 laws of power, use absence to create respect. Look, man, I cheat on my purpose with women. I don't make them my purpose. Yeah, walking away is key, man. I mean, just ask yourself, what is the finest woman you've ever walked away from? And when I mean walked away, let me clarify. I don't mean she walked away from you first and y'all are back together. I mean, you saw some fuck shit. She crossed the line that she knew she should not cross. And you put a consequence in leaving. And you didn't go back. At least not immediately. You may, even if you did go back, it was some months later. If you cannot pull a female off married, then you messed up. Think about it. The ultimate power any man has is his presence. And when you start putting yourself first, you'll start treating yourself better. What is your dream car? Jedi Mac, what's your dream car? What's Gucci, fam? Cashmere, what's your dream car? And I'm gonna tell you something, man. See, a lot of this stuff, a lot of times guys think we in here just talking about this and like, ooh, that would be offensive to women. Y'all just egotistical talking to ball rubbing. I'm gonna tell you, women who are about that FBI stuff, they love to hear men talk like this. Women love to hear men assert themselves and say they matter. Women love men that they cannot control, because don't know woman really don't know real woman. I'm gonna use that term. Don't know real woman want to be in control. She wants to nest in your shit. She wants to come in and be like, ooh, this is nice. Ooh, I like this. Let me kick my feet off and walk around on your nice, comfortable ass carpet. They don't want to get out here and build this shit. She want to be like, yeah, I can't get that fuck shit off on my man. Nah, girl, I can't say that around Kevin. I said, next thing I know, he gone. I'm gonna tell you, man, when I finally stopped, just be real, man. When I stopped treating women like they stupid. Every woman I ever approached knew that I wanted to get in her pants. Every woman I ever tried to nigga, con. Leading with your wallet. Let me put it to me. Let me put it. Every woman that I tried to con, leading with my wallet, leading with all that bullshit, I was just trying to con her ass. Versus just being the man I was and let her decide whether or not she wanted to be on my program. But every woman I told the truth to up front, I ain't got no rap, I ain't got no Mac, I ain't got no game. I think you're attractive. I'm just trying to have a little conversation and see where it goes. And I'm not looking for a platonic friend. What's up? Every woman I ever told, you know what? I don't got the kind of money these dudes have. But what I do have is a unique set of skills. What I do have is me. You know, I get it. You know, I can't ball outrageous like these guys. You know, the guys offering you G5 trips, and I don't have any of that. All I have is this. You know, I can tell you that right now, though. The time you spent with me won't be wasted. Whether we spend a short time or a long time, it'll be a good time. What's up? And she just looked and be like, at least you honest, nigga. I'm like, yeah, I'm honest. Shit, I ain't got all that shit. You know, yeah. Because women aren't stupid, man. You know, a lot of times when I'm sitting, I'm talking to the young me. I'm talking to the young me like I would have wanted my dad to talk to me. Tell you, boy, look, you get yourself out here. You put yourself first. You do what you need to do. You get out here and work your ass off. Become the best version of yourself. You do the work. Fall, get down. I'm going to have your back. Don't get out here and do no fuck shit, no stupid shit. When you get out here with dealing with these women, man, treat them well. Treat yourself better. Don't lie to them. Because they ain't stupid no way. Just tell them the truth. And if she want to get with you, she want to get with you. If she don't, she don't. And if she don't, no skin off your back shit. You at least told the truth and gave her a shot. And more often than not, you're going to have a higher quality woman, a higher caliber woman. See, high value men get higher caliber women. And see, a high caliber woman is an FBI woman, a woman who will be like, that's why sometimes you see high caliber women with the most unlikely dude, and what she be like, what did he do? He just stepped in, I don't know, shit. And really what she's saying is that dude told me the truth. He told me he wasn't shit. He told me he wasn't shit. He told me he was fucked up. He told me his credit rating was a 4. But he told me at least he came this up, told me he's in therapy, told me, told me this, told me that. And you decided to get with him? Yeah, why not? Shit. He was real. Fucked me up, man. When that was like mind blown, right? Because I came up in that in that 90s era, 80s when I grew up in 90s, man. The 90s music was that old baby face. I'll give you the rain, the moon, the stars. That old bullshit. Man, we was on some bullshit back in the late 80s and 90s. Oh, we was on there. Do ba do boo do boo. But Keith Washington ass kissing you. And, I was on that old cool smooth player shit, man. I was all that, man. But I get a lot of women, but I couldn't keep them because I wasn't shit as a man. It was bullshit. It was bullshit. And then when I finally realized I liked the aesthetic of the 90s, but I'm gonna put the substance and the work there, and then I'm gonna just make it me, and then whatever comes to me, comes to me. The shit that you could get, you have shit you could keep. Every now and then you gotta look at the mirror and call yourself on your own bullshit, man. Through the tears, through the pain, through whatever, you gotta call yourself on your own bullshit. When you acting like a bitch, say, man, I'm acting like a bitch. I might need to whoop my ass for being a bitch ass like this. Say it out loud. Because really, man, all anybody can really expect from you is to be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. And when you're true to yourself, you're really telling yourself you matter. I asked you, what's your favorite car? What's your dream car? But whatever that car is, would you park it out in the parking lot? Or would you put it in the garage? If you could get your dream car, would you leave it on the street? Would you leave it in the driveway? Or would you put it in the garage? Would it have its own garage? Would it have a climate control garage? With a security guard buying that mother? You see what I'm saying? Well, you're that car. And the world sees how you treat it. Well, yeah, mods, if you see somebody in here trolling, just block them. So, the person you owe across the board is you. You owe you. And nobody with good sense is gonna get mad at a person that says, I owe me. Are you treating yourself like you matter? Are you being honest with yourself and say, I owe me and I deserve better? Yeah, however we get there, from Rollo Tomasi to whomever, man, you know, but I want men to really get to the point to realize, man, that women are not the enemy. Women, if anything else, they are a barometer. Even in this gynocentric world, they are a barometer. And the best thing I think for any man to be is be unbothered by all of it. You can't change it. This gyno, we didn't get her overnight, and it's not going to change in your lifetime. So you might as well be unbothered by it. All right. Still something from story time. The last chick I hollered at, right? The last chick I stepped to. Last chick I stepped to. Ah, man, this chick was cold. And she was at the bar. And dudes was around her. Um, I waited for her to break out to the bathroom. I was not about to try to sit there and buy her. There are guys, I mean, look, man, the guy, when you sit up there looking at one of these guys' watch, the watch he was wearing, I've seen the watch several times. The watch was $150,000, the base model. The watch, bruh. No, no, just no. 150,000 base model, and he had the iced out version. What is it? The Piguet? Piguet. That was the name of the crazy. But I thought she was hot. I waited till she went to the bathroom, and I did the same thing. I slept in my car. I don't have no rap. I don't have no Mac, and I'm not about to try to compete with that. So whether you have a short time or a long time, we will have a good time. Here you go. Here's my card. Give me a holler when you get a chance. It'll be worth your while. That was it. She looked at me like I was crazy. She looked at me like I was absolutely fucking crazy. Because I'm standing outside the women's restroom. By the women's restroom. She handed my card back and said, "Oh, no thank you. I have a boyfriend." I was like, "No, you take that. He probably needs my sense of style because if he let you out here by yourself, he's stupid." She chuckled. She chuckled. What do you do? I'm an image consultant. I package people. She took my card, went in the bathroom. I left. I left and I went back over to my spot. She came out of that bathroom. It is my firm belief that when she was looking around, she was looking for me to see if I was going to still be standing there thirst trapping. I took my shot. I did what I could. Fuck. Fuck, I'm gonna do try to compete with a dude that has a and I know the dude around here is he's in his mid-30s, but he's a very wealthy developer around here. Dude has every toy you could imagine. I know the dude. I don't have money like that. She was younger than both of us. This dude is well known. I want to say it was one of his buddies' clubs. Fuck him. We're cool. I mean, we talk shop. We're cool, you know. We work together on some things, but sexual competition, baby. It's a war out here. I took my shot. She came out looking kind of like, I mean, it wasn't a fucking four-way intersection. I mean, she was looking for something. I took that as I was like, she's probably looking to see if I'm still going to be, like I said, thirst trapping. Nope. But I would tell you this. When she was at the bar, still talking to these dudes, da-da-da-da-da, from time to time, I would see her kind of looking in my direction. Now, what do you think I did? What do you think I did? Anybody, what did I do? What did I do from that point on? What did I do? Drape to man, he's not a beta. He's usually a beta, but not this dude. This dude is straight up alpha. I will give him his props. This motherfucker is a ladies' man, and he is a definite high value man. Jawline motherfucker from the I'm not gonna say his name. Yeah, this motherfucker. You gotta give a dude his props. This motherfucker, he's the shit. And he earned that money. He made some shrewd investments. The motherfuckers, he did get a boost from his people. But you can't take nothing from the motherfucker. I don't play a hate, man. I didn't do shit. I shot my shot. What the fuck? How am I gonna go back over there and try to talk to her? And she's looking at me every now and then, looking in my direction. I thought she was looking in my direction. She could have been looking behind me. What the fuck am I gonna do? Go back over there and talk to her again? I already said what the fuck I had to say. It's in her court. She'll either call or she didn't. And I got the text message. Hey, how you doing? This is so and so from. And I said, I'm sorry. I told you to call, not text. Why to do that? Because I didn't want to fucking text her. And I don't have it like that. I know my strengths. I work better this way. She hit the little smiley face. I'm free in 15 minutes. I was like, all right, I'll be free in about an hour. Just check that. I'm free in 15 minutes. I'll be free in about an hour. Call me then. She called. The rest is history. Look, man, I took my shot. I'm telling you a story where it worked. I got countless other ones where the shit didn't work. But what I don't have is a life of regrets. And what I don't do is I don't see something that I want and I don't go for it. Because I'm just as good as any other man. So what? He has multiple millions. So? I don't. Yet. A woman that fine, she's gonna watch this stream probably, and she knows it. Shit, it's just my turn. A woman that fine, it's just community property. We're here for a short time, not a long time. When she decides she wants to go ahead and go for the bag, she's gonna go for the bag. And become Mrs. Cumberpatch or some shit like that. And I ain't got no problem with it. But in the meantime, we're gonna have fun. Now, even if she wasn't your kind of woman, even if it wasn't, what's the downside to having a mindset like that for you? Drake man, please stop. Please stop. I'm just say please stop. I mean, we don't do that over here, man. I don't really care if you want how you want to define alpha man with beta tendencies. I don't give a fuck about. Just stop. Focus on you. Start worrying about whether or not the definition fits what you think it should fit, and focus on you. It's really where a lot of you guys fuck up. You got to be right, and you lose. You end up. You don't understand social interaction, man. Just stop. Focus on you instead. And it was some shit I used to do too. I used to always want to just be right. I'm like, why am I arguing about some shit that don't even matter? Just do you. So that's really it, man. Put yourself first. Treat yourself like you matter. Because the person you owe in this life is you. You owe yourself. You owe it to yourself. Look at who you've been living life for. Look at the things. When you decide to do something for yourself, do you feel guilty? Do you feel like you're being wasteful? I mean, if so, that's something you need to check. I'm not talking about the difference between being responsible now. And, I'm not saying go out and buy, go out and have a crazy weekend in Vegas and then, you fucking can't pay your mortgage or something. I'm not saying that, right? But when men start treating themselves like they owe them, the universe responds and says, okay, we owe him something too. The moon, the rain, the stars, and the mountains tend to align themselves and say, well, we owe him opportunity. We owe him a shot. There's a reason life works on momentum, right? If you guys watch sports, when you're on the basketball court, you get on a run, that's momentum. Where's the momentum in your life? Where is the momentum in your life? Young Bone, G, yeah, see, these dudes taking this stuff too far. Can I hold the door for a chick without being a beta? They can call me whatever the fuck they want to. Yo City, bitch for bitch, live stream. That's all I gotta say about that. You can call me whatever the fuck you want to. Can you beat me? Yeah, taking this shit too far. And you know what? Depending on where you are in your journey, man, if you're still in that rage kind of understanding period, man, but when you get to the point to where, you know, a part of getting past 40 is understanding life is about your choices. You know, I open the door for women all the time. It doesn't diminish me as a man one bit. I don't even think like that, man. Never have. How am I gonna sit back and let somebody else who I don't really even admire or know or care to be like try to tell me what I do is beta? Who the fuck calling you beta? Is he better than you? Is he winning in life? Is he where you want to be? Does he have the things you want to have? I mean, if somebody like that you respect and admire them so much that you'd want to emulate or have similar outcomes to them, then I could see talking about it. If it's just another swinging dick, miss me. Look like Sugar Ray Leonard. This shirt is comfortable as a motherfucker too. I ain't gonna even lie. Yeah, man. This is not the live stream I was going to do Sunday night, but it still hits the point, man. You need to be your own self superhero. You need to be the superhero of your own story. You need to have theme music that you walk around to. And whether or not you Superman and you really play Clark Kent or the other way around, you need to treat yourself like you matter. And on that whole superhero thing, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna wrap it up. Vision. Superhero vision. Guys, what's the vision you have for your life? What is the vision you have for your life, man? Because I'm gonna tell you, whatever vision you have for your life, it's a process. You can go back to the first video on my channel and see how far I've come as a content creator. And no matter how you slice it, most the lion's share of people that you would call successful or whatever, the people we found like are overnight successes are 10 years in the making. Even Alpha Male Strategies, as quickly as his channel blew up, that man was not an overnight success. You could tell from just by the way he would talk. You know, he's tried things. You know, YouTube may have responded a different way, but he had to have a vision. You know, a goal. I mean, and a vision is more than a goal. See, when you start really sitting down and taking some quiet time like this and ask, what's my vision for my life? Where is it that I want? What do I want out of this thing? Appreciate the super chat. What's your vision for your life, man? A vision is a huge thing. So when you have a vision for your life, each little bitty step is just another brick. I often talk about we build the airplane while we fly it. So it's like sometimes I would do live streams and shit wouldn't be working right or whatever. And I'm like, well, but it was all part of my vision. I was like, eventually it'll get to a point to where shit's kind of steady. Don't trip or let anybody throw you off when you take another little step. Because what looks little to them is one step closer to your vision. What's the old Chinese proverb? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the one single step. It's all a step. When I talk about image, image is one part of the power equation. The other part is access. Image is 4 parts: appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. There's a lot of steps. I try to make it as easy as possible to where, everyday guy can work, just worry about the fit and the quality. Give your own self a little swag with your frames, fragrance, and footwear. But all these things are little steps. And next thing you know, if you keep taking those steps, the days will roll into weeks, will turn into months, will turn into years. Next thing you know, you're further down that road onto your vision. And here's the thing, it never stops. Give yourself a vision that you can't complete in this lifetime. Give yourself a vision that you cannot complete by yourself in this lifetime. Did I just cuss? Did I just cuss at somebody? I think I just cursed somebody out. I said, give yourself a vision that you cannot complete in this lifetime, and give yourself a vision that you cannot complete by yourself. That's right. If you can complete it by yourself, you're not dreaming big enough. If you can complete it by yourself, you're not thinking big enough. If you complete it by yourself, it's too small of a vision. Nobody who's Elon Musk is not a self-made billionaire. It's a great story, but men who become successful didn't do it by themselves. Give yourself a vision that requires you working with other people. People who share your reflection, people who don't share your reflection, people who are diametrically opposed to everything you have to say except maybe a few things. Can you do business and it not be personal? I'm hearing a lot about Jay-Z and the black community and this and that. Jay-Z said it a long time ago. I'm a businessman. What's your vision? And where do you want to get to? It's going to determine, it's going to sound terrible, but the truth of the matter is, depending on how big your vision is, you may not have the luxury of running your brand according to your moral compass. I mean, how many CEOs are the face of the corporation? Your vision, I'll leave it there. Have a vision you can't complete in this lifetime. Have a vision that requires you to work with others that you can't complete by yourself. I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist, and that's a compliment. Some people are like, oh man, yeah, you work with everybody. You're an opportunist. You goddamn right. You maybe for another channel, but again, you owe yourself. Work with people where you can, and keep it moving. Which is why I don't beef. I work with people where I can. And when I can't, all right. If we don't, okay. I want to see I want to see men make it. And yes, understand this. As men, when we make it, women are going to uh, benefit by extension, as they should. See, I'm gonna say this about this alpha, beta, red pill. All that. You can't tell me that if you actually had the caliber and the caliber of woman that you wanted, and she was all the things you say you want in a person, and had her mindset, that you still have the same outlook. Be like, no, 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 no. Anywho, um, that's why this channel's always been about men becoming the best version of themselves. I'm not really into, you know, this philosophy so much, that philosophy. There's how I have my own thoughts on certain things, but there's a difference between, you know, one of the things that, especially on YouTube, it becomes difficult for people to separate the person from the brand. And that's one of the downsides about live streaming. That's why you don't see lots of channels with 1 million plus subscribers live streaming, because they have to manage a brand. And when you give somebody a behind the scenes like this and you talk, it can be polarizing, you know, because people intrinsically want people to be I don't want to say authentic, but they want people to be like them. And one of the biggest problems I see people today make is judging millionaires and billionaires or successful people by middle class standards. You cannot do that. You cannot be a billionaire and be judged by middle class, by $50,000 a year standards. It doesn't work. The challenges and the game is different when it gets past 7 figures. It simply is. Hell, even in the middle class, you know the game is different when you pass 5 figures. Can you imagine what it's like past 6, 7, 8, 9? All right, guys, I'm out of here. Damn, it's up to 1 o'clock. Peace out. I'll holler at y'all later. What's up?